Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Brassmonke X. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about today's video. This is the final assembly of Project Lich King here. Um, Now, I know last video I told you guys it's a functioning firearm now, which it is. You could fire it like this, but we have no way to aim at what we're shooting at. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to mount an optic. We're going to be putting a scope on the rifle today. So this should be it. This is the last video in the series of how to assemble an AR-15. I'm probably not going to be doing another video on assembling an AR-15 in quite some time. I'm getting a little worn out from doing these. I've done two so far, and it's very time consuming, guys. Like, normally I could sit down and I'll put some music on, I'll build myself an AR, and I have it done in like 45 minutes to an hour if I'm taking my time and doing it right and enjoying myself. And I'm not saying that I don't enjoy recording these videos. It's just, it's very time consuming. And as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I'm going to be taking a break from the AR-15s for a little while. But with that being said, before we do anything, guys, once again, satisfy the powers that be over at YouTube. Okay, so like I said, guys, we're going to be mounting an optic today. So in order to do that, you're going to need your obviously an optics mount. Okay, doesn't matter what you get. You can get one like this. I think these things are great. This is by UTG. I love these because they have both mounts on one platform, and it's so much easier to keep everything level that way. You can get two separate mounts if you want. That's fine. That's not a problem. It doesn't make it that much more difficult, but using these is so much easier. I'm so glad somebody came up with this idea. We're going to be using a Bushnell optic. Okay, I'm a big fan of Bushnell. I love Bushnell. I have Bushnell scopes on most of my rifles, actually. Anything with a scope, it's either a Bushnell or like a UTG red dot, or my wife is actually a fan of a CV Life. I know it sounds like cheap, like Chinese garbage, but you pick those up on Amazon. They're actually decent scopes for what you're paying for them. If you're not going to be beating the crap out of your guns, if they're just range toys and you want to save a little bit of money, go with a CV Life. I know, again, sounds like crap, but they're not. They're actually pretty good. But yeah, all you need is your scope, your mount. You definitely want to use some thread locker. Don't use the red stuff because you may want to change out your scope or your scope mount at some point. I like to use the blue thread locker, but you want to make sure that your scope mount doesn't come loose. Because if you lose your zero, it's a pain in the butt. You don't want anything coming loose when you're doing this. You're also going to need a level. Now, I have these cool little levels here. I don't even know where I acquired them. They're magnetic. They're nice little levels. I'll show you guys what we're going to be doing with that. If you don't have a little level like that, you can use something like this, like just a standard torpedo level is fine as well. You really don't want to go with anything bigger than this, though. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. You're also going to want to have some kind of way to hold your rifle up because you want to get it level. So if you have like a cradle like this, like one of these cleaning cradles, you can use that. But I'm going to be using this here. It's one of those blocks that you put in your bench vise here that will hold the rifle. But I'll show you how we're going to do that when we get to it, guys. But yeah, let me see. Let me move the camera here, and I'll show you guys what we're going to be doing. So now typically when you mount a scope, they say you want to keep the scope about an inch away from your eye. That way you don't scope yourself with the recoil. Now when you're doing an AR-15, it's a little bit different because you have the charging handle here in the way to worry about. So when you mount your scope, you want to make sure that your scope's not getting in the way of the charging handle, or you're not going to be able to charge the gun, okay? So off camera, I went ahead and figured out already where I want to mount this. So what we do is we're going to take our mount and we're going to get it where we want it. Okay. I know that I wanted mine right about there in that location. Now, you're going to have screws on the side of your mount. You want to tighten them down, but you want to put that thread locker on first. So to save some time for the video, I already put the thread locker on there. I'm just going to go ahead and get these tightened down now. All right, you don't want to send them home yet. Get all three of them like hand tight, and then go ahead, go back to the first one and tighten that down real good. Move back, get this next one. All right. Now, once you got that on there, you can see we got plenty of clearance here in the back now to charge our firearm. We can get to the charging handle, no problem. Now, we want to go ahead and we want to mount our scope to the scope mount. Now, to do that, guys, I'm going to be moving over here. Let me move this out a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to move the gun. We're going to go ahead, put it in our block here. Just like that, okay? Make sure you guys can see what we're doing. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to need our level, okay? I'm going to take this little level, I'm going to put it up here on the front of the rifle, because that's where I found a spot where it'll actually stay, okay? If there's somewhere else you can mount it on the gun, that's fine. You want to make sure that the rifle is level, but you don't have to level it this way, up and down. You want to level it side to side. You want to make sure that you're good, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. You want to look at it this way. Make sure that that bubble is right in the center. Okay? Now, the reason we're doing this is because when we go ahead and put our scope in this mount and tighten it down, okay, if the gun isn't level, but your scope is straight and your scope is plumb and level, your aim is going to be off. You're not going to be shooting in the right location because the gun itself, if it's canted even 1 degree off, but your scope is straight, when you shoulder that rifle and you're looking through the scope, the gun's not going to be right, and everything's going to be off. You're not going to be hitting in the right spot. Your trajectory is going to be all messed up, and you're going to have to redo it. So make sure that everything is level before you tighten everything down. Again, put a little level on the front, guys. Make sure it's straight, like it is. And then you can go ahead and you're going to put your scope on the mount, okay? Now, we know our scope is going to go right about there. Now, there's a little bit of play in the scope. Don't worry about that right now. What we want to do is go ahead and we want to clamp this down, okay? We're going to put these in. So go ahead and put your thread locker on your screws. And then we're going to come in here, we're going to put our screws in, but we're only going to put them hand tight because we want that scope to be able to move so we can adjust it properly, okay? All right, now we go ahead and put on our front. I know, sorry guys, there's no quick way to do this. Unfortunately, you got to sit here and watch me put 8 screws in. Kind of sucks, I know. Just bear with me, guys. All right, so We got those on. We can go ahead and take these caps off. We don't need the caps on there. And we're going to have to look through there anyway. All right, now that we got our screws in, we're going to go ahead and tighten them down. But we don't want to tighten them too much. We just want to get them close, but we want to still be able to move the scope itself. All right. Now, with our scope basically in place, okay, we have our level up front. We take a look at that. We make sure we're good and we're nice and level. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take you off the tripod here and I'm going to show you something. Now what we do is, to make sure that our scope is straight in there, make sure you have a nice white backdrop that you're looking at when you're looking through here. I'm going to try and get this on camera. I don't know how well this is going to work out. Oh, there we go. I can kind of show you guys. This is very difficult to do while holding the camera. You're going to look through your scope, okay? And then you're going to make sure you can see the level through the scope right down there on the bottom, okay? So we know that we're nice and level. We're going to look through, and then we're just going to adjust the scope ever so slightly to make sure that those crosshairs are straight up and down. Now, if you want, you can go get like a target or something to put down there to look through, to look at through the scope. A target might help you, but you got to make sure that that target is nice and level. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball it because that's just what I do. Like I said, you want to make sure that it's level. If you're looking through it and it's like that, you can see it's obviously cocked. It's not straight. You definitely want to make that straight up and down. That's how you want to level it. But let me put you back on a tripod so I can actually look through here and do this because I can't do it through the camera lens. All right. So, as I was saying, you're just going to look through here, okay? You're going to make sure that those crosshairs are straight up and down. Keeping an eye on the level in the front to make sure that the firearm stays nice and level. You're going to get that scope adjusted. Just like that. That looks pretty good right there. So once you have it, where your scope is level, your gun is level, and everything's good, you can come in here and tighten down all your screws on your scope mount. We'll go ahead, we'll start tightening these down. And what you want to do is alternate sides. Okay, as soon as you feel that one's starting to get a little tight, switch over to the other side. If you were in the front, do the back. Start to tighten that down. When you feel that start to catch, go ahead and move up to the front one. When that starts to catch, you can move to this side in the back. It's kind of like tightening down a tire, all right? When you do the lugs on a tire, you don't just go in a circle. You want to go crisscross. You do the same thing here, guys. All right? Now, you want to double check. Make sure nothing moved. Take a look in your scope. Everything still looks pretty good. So just come up here to the front and do the same thing. Start to tighten it down. Just like that. And you go ahead and move to the other side. Move to the front. Come back to this side. Now double check again. Make sure everything's still nice and level in there, which it is. And you're good to go, guys. That's how you mount an optic on an AR-15. And that, my friends, is a done stamp. We're putting a done stamp on it. Project Lich King is officially done. Thank God. I am so happy this is done and over with. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know. If you want to see more builds like this, I can do some more in the future. But like I said, I've already done 2 series on how to build an AR-15. So if you guys want more of that content, let me know. If not, let me know. Just comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. But like I said, stay tuned. There is going to be more videos on this project. But like I said, the builds are done. And we're done building it. We're going to do a benchtop banter. We're going to go over all the parts, tell you what parts are on here, how much everything cost. We're going to take it out to the range. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to sight it in. I'm going to sight in this scope. I also have to adjust the gas block on there. I'm going to show you guys how we adjust that. So there is going to be some more videos coming up. They're going to be fun videos, though. Most of it's going to be at the range. So I'm going to have to start getting some more range time in. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for our build on Project Lich King. And if you guys watched all these videos, I thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time, guys.